Hello my hair warriors, it's me, Aaron O'Brien, and today's video is sponsored by my friends at Lordhair.com. Today we are going to be talking about different types of glue and different types of bases and how well they are going to work together. So let's get going. Alright my hair warriors, so we are going to start off with our adhesives. I love adhesives, they're very exciting and there are so many out there to use, but here are my favourites. To start off we have the Extend-A-Bond tape. This is amazing, it has these tiny holes in it and it makes it more breathable, but you know what? It's extra strong, so it holds really well when you're wearing it on your system. Then we also have the Ultra Hold tape from Walkers. This is another one of my favorites as well. This can last up to 4 weeks, if not a little bit longer. This has a really strong adhesive to it and it works really well. Then we have the red tape. This is really easy to clean up. It leaves little to no mess. Does it last as long? No. So wearers who like to change quicker, this is a great product. Okay, so now we have super tape. Yes, this is great, this is strong, and it is pre-cut. So very easy to use, and I probably use these most of the time because they fit all different contours of systems. We have an A and we have a C here, but there are many more. These are strong, they work really well. Usually I guess these last about 2 to 3 weeks. That's how long they last on me, but it all depends on the wearer. They simply peel off the back here, they go onto your system and they work well. These have a little bit of a shine to it, so be aware that the hairline of the system might have a little bit of a glow, but still very unnoticeable. If you're worried about a little bit of shine, don't worry, I got you. One of my absolute favorites as well is the No Shine tape. This is in a C contour and this works very well. Again, it doesn't last that long, I would say between a week and pushing it to 2 weeks, but there is no shine. Basically, it looks super realistic on the front hairline, so sometimes I'll mix my tapes and glues and I will use this only on the hairline and I will change it weekly. But this is a great one. Just to mention as well that these pre-cut tapes are specifically made for the hairline and the hairline only. If you want, you can use the C shape for the back of the system, but it is mainly for the hairline. Okay, now that I'm done with my favorite tapes, we're moving on to glues. And these are my 2 favorites that I use on my hair systems. We have the Walkers Ultra Hold liquid. This is amazing. This is an acrylic liquid and it works very, very well. What I like about this, it comes with its own little brush. Now be aware it is quite stringy, but this can last 4 to 6 weeks. I use these on my lace systems and it is a game changer. If you're going on holidays, if you're going to be in hot climates, if you're swimming, this is a great one to use. This is a non-yellowing glue. Yes! Thank you for creating this. Yellowing happens when sweat buildup mixes with the glue and the general aging of glue anyway, but this doesn't happen with this liquid adhesive. So around the hairline can look super realistic and you get that longer lasting look. It does take a little bit more to clean it up, but it works really well. With enough time, enough effort, you'll have a squeaky clean system right after. Finally, we have a fan favorite. This is a Ghost Bond. This is fantastic. This goes from white to clear as it dries down, so you know exactly when your glue is ready to place on your system. This is also really good hold. Usually lasts me 2 to 3 weeks and this is not budging. It is an easier cleanup than the Ultra Hold, and this is one that I probably use most regularly because I don't really like to wear my system for 4 to 6 weeks. That's just my personal preference, so I always go with my Ghost Bond. Okay, so here are the bases, and these are my top bases that I have used and I really, really love. Then we're going to show you what bonding agent goes with which system. First up, we have the Vigor hair system. It's premium quality and has great materials. It's made of fine mono, it has a lace front, and it has a super thin skin base. It's super realistic and I love it. Next up, we have the Quanta. This is great, very airy, very light. We have the skin here on the back, really easy to tape. And then we have this beautiful airy lace as well, so it's extremely breathable. This was one of my favorites back in the day. We now have the very popular thin skin. This is the 0.06 millimeters. It is very thin, very light. It has a nice stretch to it and it's really comfortable. I love this system. Okay, so this is my absolute favorite and it's what I wear most of the time. It is the Neo. This comes in Neo and Neo Premier. This is the main Neo though. It has the lace and it also has the skin around it as well. And at the very front, it has a lace front hairline. Super realistic, breathable, light, and it almost combines all the hair systems that I just mentioned before. And it just feels like I'm not wearing anything, but it has that extra security as well. I think this one is the biggest seller. Okay, so first up is the Vigor, and we are going to be using a mix of our bonding agents. For the hairline, we're going to be using the Walker's Tape Ultra Hold. This is because I find the system is a little bit heavier, so we need a bit more security, especially around the hairline. This though, I'm going to place on my skin. I'm not going to put it directly onto the lace. Because it is a liquid, I don't want it to seep through if I apply too much, and that will stick the hair together. So we're going to put it on your front hairline, and then you're going to leave that dry down till it feels tacky, and then you're going to place it. Now that I've finished talking about the hairline, we're going to move on to the tape. I like to place it here just where the skin is, because when I'm blow drying, I want that extra security and I want it to lay in place a little bit more, especially if I'm going away or if it's hot outside. So I'm just going to peel this pre-cut tape, and this is the super tape, the super hold. And try keep your fingers away from the center of the tape because it is super sticky and super tacky. And then we are just going to place it just here on it. This is a C contour, so it has a nice round edge and it fits perfectly onto the system. So on the back of the system, I'm also going to use the C contour. Again, super easy to peel. It comes right off. Keep those fingers away from the center because you don't want the glue coming off on your hands. You can see there, I nearly got caught out. Then we're going to place the tape just near the edge, not exactly on the edge, because as the glue melts and becomes warm, it's gonna push forward. You don't want the glue to get into the hair, so I always leave a little bit of space. And then we pop it on, nice and simple. There we go. Sometimes if the tape doesn't fit perfectly, you have to maneuver it a little bit. Maybe you have to use one piece or two so you get the perfect shape. Then we are going to use the Extend-A-Bond. This because I want a little bit more breathability, because this has a bit of skin on the sides. I want to make sure that my skin can breathe a bit. And I want to make sure it stays secure because I need security when it comes to my hair systems. So you can cut these up into little pieces and you can measure them along the hair system so they fit perfectly. So I'm just going to do that right now. Make sure that your scissors is super clean on the edges and that you have cleaned with alcohol, which I have done earlier. Then you are going to cut the sizes that you need to put along the system. So here is one. This is foldable, so you can actually cut these in half if needs be. I like to use the whole thing because, again, I want more security, but you only have to use one. Now you can see that there's a little bit more space here, so this is going to fit really, really well. Again, we don't put it right to the edge. We just leave maybe a half a millimeter, and then we're just going to place it on, and then we can start peeling off our tape. Look how seamlessly that comes off. It is so easy to use and it sticks down perfectly. Just to mention, I clean all my systems with alcohol before I place my tape down. Make sure to get rid of any buildup or any dirt that's been in the air or in the room before you apply it. We want to make sure that things are super clean. Okay, so we have our tape down. I'm going to finish the rest of this. I'm going to show you how I put the glue around my hairline and then show you how realistic and how it works for this system. Okay, so we're going to place our system on the back. Make sure that you line up your system with your hair. So you place your fingers down here first. Then you place the back of the system where your hairline is. You're going to stretch and bring it forward just like this. I didn't do the hairline yet, so I'm going to show you how to do that and how to measure for it. Okay, so the system is down where I need it to be. Voila, I have to get this cut. And then you can see here the hairline is not done. What I like to do is use a pencil just along the hairline that I can rub off and then place my glue down. You can use a dark or a white pencil and you simply dot along the hairline where you want to place the glue. And make sure you do it lightly. You barely want to see this. Okay, once that's done, you're going to place this back. And you have a rough idea of where the glue is to go. We're going to pin back and then we're going to take our adhesive. Make sure that you move all the hair out of the way and keep that area clear before placing down your glue. Now, because this glue is quite stringy, make sure that you remove all the glue from the edges by putting it back into the bottle and leave just a thin layer on the edge of the brush. You will see there are stringy pieces, make sure we get rid of those. And then we're going to place just along the hairline. Now this takes only a few seconds to dry down. If you need to use a hairdryer afterwards, you can do so. Now, if you have any excess glue left over and it's a thin layer, whoop, you can use that on the lace system itself because it is not going to go through the lace. You can see how it gets stringy, eh? So be careful. Okay, so we have just a little bit of excess here after we put it on. And then I'm going to place it just around the edge of the system. Just like this. Okay, perfect. We're going to let that dry down for just a minute. And this is just to give you an idea of what the hairline looks like with this system. Now, if you can, just give a little bit of a rub around the edges, but don't worry, we'll get that pencil off afterwards. To check that it's ready, make sure that you just place your finger on, and if you can see, it's tacky like that. It's perfect and ready to go. So you're gonna take your hair down and place it right there. Perfect. You're going to take your pintail comb and then you're going to place down where you have the glue. And you're going to take your finger and then just remove any of the pencil. And then you have the perfect hairline. Next up is the fabulous Neo. This is my favorite, and this is pretty easy to do, and we're going to follow the same concept that we did with the Vigor. But for me, I love tape, and yes, you can use tape on lace. So with this system, I've already placed tape all the way around, and I've also placed this here as well, the Extend-A-Bond in the center of the system for breathability because it has those holes in them, so it makes it nice and airy for my scalp. So we're going to put this on now and see what my hairline looks like with the tape on the front of my Neo. Now you can see I have my beautiful Neo system on my head because I can't do a whole video looking bald. You have to see the effects of what I've actually done, and look at this hairline. This is amazing, super realistic. I know I showed you a dark Neo system, but my preference is to be blonde at the moment, so I switched it out for this one, and I think it looks absolutely fabulous. Even though I've been wearing these hair systems for years, it always amazes me how natural and good it looks. No one ever knows when I see them on the street. They always just think it's au natural. Enough about me, let's talk about the rest of the systems. Now we have the Quanta. This is a mixed base as well. We have the skin and we also have the lace here through the middle and the front hairline. This is a great system, and just like we did with the Vigor, it being a mixed system, very easy to apply, and we use the same principles. Now, you're going to place glue directly onto your scalp, just like I showed you, but I like to use the Ghost Bond. Then on the back of the system here, you can use some of your tape. This is the C contour, and you're going to place it directly on here. This gives more security on the edge of your system using the tape. I feel it is a little bit stronger than using the Ghost Bond, and then I place the Ghost Bond throughout the rest. This makes for a little bit of an easier cleanup. instead of using the glue all over your lace base. Okay, so this is the thin skin system. This is one of the easiest systems when it comes to applying because I like to place my Ghost Bond glue directly onto the system. I don't like to use acrylic strong glues on these systems because it can literally tear them apart because the glue is so strong. So we want to make sure we use something like Ghost Bond. Now, I did take the top off mine so I can pour glue on a little bit quickly, but make sure you always wear the top if you are just starting off with this, so you can just put a little bit at a time. So we have this placed on a dome that is usually supplied by Lordhair. We are going to place a dollop of glue just in the center, and then we're actually going to spread this out. Now, what I said about this glue before is it dries down really nicely, and it dries down from white to clear. You can apply a few layers of Ghost Bond glue onto the system. Usually, if you want more security, the more glue you use, but I tend to use just one layer. That's just how I like it. You can place this directly onto your scalp as well, but I always find it's better on the base first. I'm going to show you the magic of Ghost Bond, where it goes from white to clear. I like to use a hairdryer, and I put it on a medium heat just to dry it down if you're in a rush and you want to get this on quickly. So you're going to turn on your dryer, and let's see the magic happen. Okay, so now that everything is done and it's dried down, you can see it's clear here at the front. The back has a little bit of ways to go, but make sure you do not dry it down too much. If you dry it down too much, there will be no adhesive left to stick to your scalp. So make sure you touch, and you should see a bit of tackiness, and that means that the system is ready to put onto your scalp. If it's too wet, it'll smudge out and it'll go into the frontal hairline of the system. So make sure you have it just right, just the way I showed you there. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope I got you out of a sticky situation. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Don't forget to click those links as well, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye!